you heard that Donald Trump indicated that United States may withdraw its support from Ukraine, from NATO even. What a breakthrough, Norman. And if you want to add any more good stories you have, breaking stories you have, please go ahead, Norman.
Greetings from here in Washington, D.C. It's kind of timely that you mentioned about the president's remarks. Uh, Yesterday, the Pope met with the president of Ukraine, and the discussion geared around uh, Europe and NATO and the support of Ukraine. The Pope took an opportunity, which, the Pope is an American. He took the opportunity to comment that he is concerned about the United States appearance of separating from Europe and NATO, to the point that you mentioned President Trump, which you just confirmed, stated that the consideration of moving away from NATO and the Europe-based support is coming about, or could happen, or is possible. But the Pope mentioned that Europe should be involved in any type of negotiation in terms of peace, because the conflict itself is centered in Europe, and it's going to affect, like we've been talking about, the surrounding areas outside of Ukraine. So he suggests that anything that goes on, Europe must be involved, and he's concerned about the fractured relationship that is developing between Europe and the United States, based on the current administration. So he suggests that that relationship should be taken care of, should be mended, and should be prepared to move forward in the future. Also, I want to mention that we had the election yesterday of the first female mayor, who is a Democrat, in Miami, the second largest city in Miami. And this is a profound impact on the Trump administration, because of the person that they wanted in that office was supported by Trump. And ideally, that would have been something that would have been nice, because Trump is planning his museum to be in Miami. So, with a 19-point defeat, this is a profound statement by the people, again, about their discontent with the cost of living. Everything is high. I mentioned yesterday, people are not happy about the cost of living, and the United States and the current administration efforts on immigration. Miami is considered the gateway to Latin America. We're talking about Venezuela. We're talking about immigration. We have a large Haitian and immigrant populations there. So this is another sign of what is to come in the upcoming midterm elections.
Trump's latest foreign policy decisions strengthen US leadership on the world stage, or do they create more uncertainty for allies? This is a tough question from Jannatul Firdaus. Norman, would you please face this question?
Well, as we've been seeing in the last day, actually today, uh, the Trump administration uh, is sending out a clear message that they are the administration of change, but the rest of the world is not digesting it. Uh, there's concerns about uh, the ceasefires, the deals that is start up one day, the deals is good, and the next day is break down. So we're seeing all of these plans and all of these so-called deals, which is supposed to be supporting his nomination for a Nobel Peace Prize, starting to crumble. So the question is now credibility. What is the credibility of the current administration, and how does that position itself in regards to the rest of the world? Uh, my viewpoint is basically, as you look at the geopolitical landscape, both internally in the United States, the shift is happening. There's also issues in other parts of the world. Conflicts are coming up. Disregards for borders, disregards for peace initiatives, more aggression in terms of I can take your land, I can come in here, I can do this, I can do that, and there's no regards to sovereignty of countries, and so we are now looking at a shift again as a result of the current administration lack of ability to maintain and control or to act as a good example to the rest of the world. The world is now looking at other things, other ways that is not inclusive of the United States. They're looking to do their own thing, their own way, and not depending on how the United States respond or participate.
You understand Washington establishment better than all of us. So let us know, do you agree confidence on Trump's negotiation is declining globally? Mr. Norman.
Yes, I'm going to respond to that with a metaphor. You have a situation right now where we have a electrician trying to act as a plumber, uh, meaning he's trying to make deals based on his ability as a deal maker. But as we see, he is basically providing a patch for the broken pipe, but we're seeing now that the pipe is bursting. Uh, it cannot sustain itself. So basically, he is out of the administration is out of their area of expertise. He has a certain skill set. That skill set does not meet the needs of the international world and what's happening right now. We're clear. It's a clear example, but basically that things are not working out in the manner in which they intended. That intent is there, but the follow through and the procedure and the actual knowledge of how to deal with international diplomatic affairs is beyond the current administration abilities.
You know, Donald Trump
Yeah.
was trying to achieve the Nobel Peace Prize. He has initiated many ceasefire and agreement between the confronting countries, but where United States people's $333 billion has gone for Ukraine now without doing any summary line, any finishing line, any negotiation. He is giving a spark that he is going to withdraw his support from Ukraine. Will he be in question of American people? Then why United States spent $333 billion for Volodymyr Zelensky or Ukrainian people to give a lesson to Russia? Critical question, of course, I understand.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Look at the respond to this question. You have to look at the timeline. We initially supported uh, President Zelensky with a challenge. He was not happy with him initially when we met, but we decided that it was worthwhile to invest in Ukraine with conditions that you will have to give up something. You had minerals, you have resources, so we went into a business deal with you. We provided arms through Europe to help you achieve your goal to maintain. However, in the terms of political and business, it has not developed. 2.5 years, 3 years moving on. So the investors are now looking at a return. How do we get a return on our investment? So what we do is we strike another deal. We just had official go over with a family member to strike a deal. As you notice, the comments came after this meeting and deal. There's a plan now to move forward with this deal. This deal going to include concessions for Russia, also It's in line with the new security policy of the United States. And it also answers the question about America's first. So these are the things looking at. And business comes a time when you have to cut your losses. You know, you're not going to see a profit at the end. You have to cut your loss. So basically, what we're seeing right now is a plan in place to move forward, move on, regardless of the incident. So there's been conversation with the apparent aggressor, Russia. There have been conversations with Europe, telling them they have to increase the budget because we're going to now shift our resources and a responsibility over to you. And Ukraine, you will have to basically learn how to live with what you have. And with this new opportunity coming in for business, you're going to have to get some return on our investment. We have United States put a lot of funds, a lot of money, a lot of resources into this. So now, how do we recoup our returns on a loss? They
All
consider this a loss. So we will now have to make forward, make plans to move beyond the current situation and with some type of benefit for the American First campaign.
our audience, Ismat Nurjahan Mim. She asked this question, I'm sure it is for Norman. What are the biggest challenges and opportunities created by Trump's current global strategy? Small question, but there is a huge complicacy, Mr. Norman. This question has come from our respected audience, Ismat Nurjahan Mim.
Um, Thank you for the question. I appreciate the interest. There's a lot going on. The big complication or the big question is credibility. How does the world view the United States? Do they say and do what they um, profess? Do they hold the commitments? Do they have support? Or are they looking for their best interests? Currently, right now, during the development of this new administration, there's a lot of things that's being challenged, questioned, and disputed. Yes, there's a attempt to fix everything in the world, but unfortunately, the the finesse is not there yet. It's not been developed. Uh, our current administration is utilizing their experience is very limited in deal with international affairs. So basically, we are fumbling and learning as we move through this process. Unfortunately, with that comes repercussions. Basically, it shows that you're really not attuned to what you're doing. You have an idea, you have a mission, you have the energy, but you do not have the ability to follow through. So basically, what you are seeing and what we will continue to see is basically attempts to fix, but they do not have the necessary skill. Again, electrician trying to be a plumber. The pipes are bursting. Things are happening. We're not fixing things. We're not understanding how the other part is dealing with it. We're not dealing with the core issues. We're just putting a piece of tape on it and trying to move on to the next thing. And the pressure from this ability of not understanding dealing with the core issues is causing the pipes to burst. So basically what we're seeing right now is a lot of these initiatives are falling through. The tariffs is going to be questioned. The courts is going to question basically the immigration issues. They're going to question our issues in what we're doing in Venezuela. They're going to question the deal we're making with the other parts in Europe. They're going to question how we deal with NATO. They're going to question everything that's going on. Things have to work its way out. I understand there may be a plan, but the world don't know what the plan is because things are happening so fast. Because of our attempt to touch everything, we are not getting anything done concretely.